Have you ever wondered if the huge world you think you command is actually just a tiny puddle? Well, today we're going to dive into this strange, powerful story from the poet Rumi. It's all about a fly who was absolutely convinced he was a great sailor. And honestly, it might just make you rethink your own reality.
Just let that sink in for a second. This one line, it's the key to everything we're about to talk about. It's basically saying that our universe isn't about what's physically out there, it's about what we're able to see and understand inside ourselves. So keep that thought in your back pocket.
All right, so our story kicks off on what appears to be a massive, dangerous sea. And we're about to meet a character who believes with every fiber of his being that he is the master of it all. So let's meet this unlikely hero.
So picture this, right? You've got this tiny fly, and it's just landed on a single piece of straw, which is floating in some murky liquid. To you and me, it's nothing. It's completely insignificant. But in the mind of this fly, an epic adventure was just getting started. And just like that, the fly changes. In his own head, he's not just some insect anymore. Oh no. He's a captain, a commander, and he's speaking with this totally unshakable pride of someone who has tamed the high seas. And the illusion just keeps building. He's describing his world with absolute conviction. He points out this vast sea, this mighty ship, and he's totally certain that it's his own incredible skill that's guiding it all. There's not a shred of doubt in his voice, just pure, triumphant confidence. And here's the absolute core of the whole illusion. For the fly, that little puddle was a boundless ocean. That flimsy piece of straw was a magnificent, unsinkable ship. And for him, this wasn't a delusion. This was just reality.
But here's the thing. We can see something the fly can't. So now we're going to pull the camera way, way back and see what this grand world of his is actually made of.
And this is the question that just shatters the whole thing. The fly's enormous confidence was built on a foundation of complete ignorance. It's time to see the truth.
And there it is. The fly's vast, boundless ocean was nothing more than a puddle of donkey's urine. The grandeur, the adventure, the whole shebang, all an illusion. And that mighty ship he was steering with such incredible skill, that was just a single, fragile piece of straw, totally at the mercy of the tiniest little breeze. No power, no command, no greatness.
And finally, the master navigator himself. Not a captain, not a sailor, just a fly. A tiny fly with a vision so limited it actually mistook filth for glory, and a piece of trash for a kingdom.
Okay, so why are we spending all this time talking about a fly in a puddle of, Because Rumi wasn't just telling some kid's story. He was holding up a giant mirror to every single one of us. And this is where the whole thing gets personal. This story is a metaphor for a very specific, and let's be honest, a very common human weakness. That fly represents a type of person we've all met, or maybe a part of ourselves we'd rather not look at.
So here's what it all means. The fly is basically anyone whose confidence is way bigger than their competence. You know the type. They live in this tiny world of knowledge, but believe with all their heart that they are the masters of a vast empire of wisdom.
And this is just a brilliant way to explain why this happens. The fly's delusion doesn't come from a bad place, really. It comes from a serious lack of exposure. I mean, think about it. If a small puddle is the only world you've ever seen, it's kind of natural to assume it's the entire ocean.
Now, this ancient story might sound simple, but its lesson is more relevant today than it has ever been. The puddles we live in might look different now, but the flies, they're still everywhere.
You've seen the modern fly. It's the person who reads one headline and suddenly thinks they're an expert on global economics. It's the echo chambers on social media, where shallow opinions just get repeated over and over until they feel like deep truths. It's that rock-solid confidence that so often comes from a complete lack of real understanding.
Rumi's choice of a polluted place was so sharp and intentional. It's a warning. If our own awareness is low, if our perspective is super narrow, we can become intensely proud of things that are actually pretty small or insignificant or maybe even harmful. We can build ourselves a palace on a piece of straw.
So, what's the big lesson here? What are we supposed to take away from this humbling little story? Well, it's a direct challenge to how we see ourselves and the world we think we live in. And this, right here, this is the most important point of the whole thing. The real danger isn't just being ignorant. I mean, let's face it, we're all ignorant about most things. The real danger is being ignorant of our own ignorance.
That's the exact moment we become the fly, puffing out its chest on a piece of straw.
In the end, this little story reminds us that reality isn't some fixed thing we just look at. It's a landscape we actually create through our own level of awareness. And as our understanding grows, our world literally expands right along with it.
And so, the question Rumi leaves us all with is a deeply personal one. I want you to really take a look at your own world, your beliefs, your certainties, the things you know are true. Is it a real, vast ocean, or have you, just maybe, mistaken a puddle for the sea? It's a question worth asking, and the answer, well, it might just change everything.